Right now, a last-minute petition to block the release of one of the people accused of the Waukesha Slenderman murder from a mental hospital. We tell you why. Also, look back at the history of the Madison Public Library system as it celebrates 150 years of service. And we're following approximately 95 acres burned in Palmyra after a brush fire broke out Friday evening. What we know so far. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Again, a much warmer scene here in southern Wisconsin. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller, who joins us from the weather patio. Blaze, how does it feel out there?
Yeah, today we had plenty of sunshine. Temperatures are going to continue to warm on up as we head into our upcoming work week. Tonight, it is going to be a bit chilly, but we are still going to sit underneath those quiet conditions. Our latest high pressure system brought us plenty of sunshine today, kept our temperatures a little bit cooler than where they should be for this time of year. 20s across southern Wisconsin. It's 28 in Cross Plains, Mount Horeb, as well as in Edgerton, 24 in Madison, 26 in Sun Prairie. We're going to head into the single digits or the low teens tonight underneath clear to mostly clear conditions. A little bit more cloud cover further to the north and west tonight as our high pressure system begins to exit the Midwest. It's a very quick high pressure system. We will still be quiet into your Sunday, but we are getting ready for this system that's said to arrive as we go to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Alert days already issued for both Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to dive deeper into this system in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you in just a bit. And you can stay up to date on the weather on your First Warn Forecast weather app. It is hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. One of the Wisconsin women accused of murder when she was a preteen was slated to get out of a mental hospital a few days ago. But a last-minute petition to block that release says she's not ready. Nick Boer has the story.
More than 10 years later, the shocking Slenderman case still reverberates in Waukesha. 12-year-olds Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire lured their classmate Peyton Leitner to the woods near their homes, and Geyser stabbed her 19 times, telling police they felt they had to please the fictional horror character Slenderman.
You start to get something that people call slender sickness. He's like following you or if you meet him because of the stigma radiation that he emits.
Both were found not guilty due to mental illness and committed to mental hospitals. Wire was released in 2021 and Geyser was granted her release last month.
State of Wisconsin versus Morgan E. Geyser.
Geyser remains at Winnebago Mental Health Institute where her release plan was to be finalized Monday. But hospital staff asked a judge to revoke that permission, in part after learning what books she was reading there.
The reading material that she's so focused on has themes of sexual sadism and murder and the sale of human organs on the black market. All of these things that the treatment team at Winnebago had no idea that she was so interested in.
The hospital staff also raised concerns about Geyser's contact with a man with an unnatural interest in her crime.
Sending him artwork of a very violent nature.
The judge delayed Geyser's release over the objection of her lawyer.
She's read every type of genre. And if Winnebago wanted to restrict books, they can do that. If they have a library there, they can restrict whatever comes in or out. She's not reading anything that she isn't permitted to have access to in the institution. There's no secret reading anything.
Geyser and Wire were originally sentenced to 40 years in mental institutions. To more local news, approximately 95 acres burned in Palmyra after a brush fire broke out Friday evening. Interim Deputy Chief Dylan Callis said just before 5:30, a large fire was reported at 429 South 4th Street near Hillside Cemetery. Crews found approximately 20 acres of field on fire due to 20-mile-per-hour winds and 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The fire continued to spread. The fire fortunately was contained just after 7 p.m. The cause of the fire is still under investigation and no injuries were reported. 150 years of stories and community service. In 2025, the Madison Public Library is hitting its latest big anniversary. Our Elia Liberté has the story.
lifelong learning was an important concept then as it is now.
Once upon a time, before city sanitation, water, or electricity,
We had public libraries.
Hannah Elias is the Madison Public Library director. She's worked in the library system for 32 years.
I have done, I would say, 80% of the jobs in a public library.
And since the beginning, the story's come a long way.
Here we are 150 years later, 9 libraries and a mobile, a dream bus, and a 10th library on the way.
The library's first edition was in City Hall back in 1875.
150 years ago, in May 31st, Madison opened its first public library in the city. It was 2 rooms, 5,000 books, and there was a single librarian who would check out a book to you if you were male, 15 and older.
And as the city grew, the library system grew. In 1906, the first building owned by the Madison Free Library opened on the corner of Carroll and Dayton Street, where it stood until 1965, when it was then moved to the current location on Mifflin Street.
It was state-of-the-art at the time. Now it looks to us like an old bunker, but the idea was you protect the books from the light.
But Central Library, as we know it today, was remodeled in 2011 and reopened in 2013.
I think that libraries are one of the few remaining places where you can meet people that are very different from you and interact with people that are, maybe not in your neighborhood.
And as technology continues to change, the library is ready for its next chapter.
So really rethinking what we do in our spaces and the value that we bring to the community is something that we'll be looking at for the next 50, 100, 150 years.
Reporting in Madison, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. To celebrate the milestone, the library will have events at all of the locations throughout the month of May. There is also a challenge to check out 150 items in 2025. You can find more information about both on madisonpubliclibrary.org/anniversary. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, President Donald Trump is set to receive a routine physical next month, the first of his second term. Plus, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. makes some changes to the department. Plus,
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky gets a warm welcome in London after Friday's blowout in the White House with President Trump was seen around the world. I'm Cristian Benavides in West Palm Beach, Florida, where Trump is spending the weekend.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
thank you for staying with us. President Donald Trump is set to receive a routine physical next month. This will mark Trump's first physical in his second term. In a statement Saturday, his doctor says the routine exam will take place at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. The exact date has not yet been released. At 78, Trump is among the nation's oldest presidents, second only to former President Joe Biden. Trump would also be the oldest president in history at the end of his second term. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in London today. He thanked the American people and leadership and voiced hope for strong relations a day after a stunning Oval Office blowout with President Trump. CBS News correspondent Cristian Benavides reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer welcomed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to London on Saturday.
I want to thank you, people of the United Kingdom, such big support from the very beginning of this war.
The meeting follows the berating seen around the world. President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance gave Zelensky in the Oval Office Friday.
God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
President Trump is spending the weekend at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach. Before leaving D.C., Trump spoke to reporters about Zelensky's dressing down that sparked new questions about the next chapter in U.S. support for Ukraine.
He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, all negative things.
What became clear, and I think what has the president so frustrated and frankly angry, is that it's not clear that Zelensky truly wants to stop the fighting.
Many Republicans expressed support of the president after the showdown with Zelensky, but GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska commented on the situation on X, calling it a regrettable conversation, showing the administration may try to end all U.S. support for Ukraine. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
On Sunday, Zelensky will meet with King Charles III before attending a summit with European leaders. And Democrats are fundraising off Friday's contentious talks between the two. Saturday's email was sent from the Harris Fight Fund, which is associated with the campaign of former Vice President Kamala Harris. The email called the Oval Office confrontation a, quote, disgrace. It also said it was not good for Ukraine, the U.S., or the nation's European allies. The email then asked for donations to support Democratic congressional candidates so that Congress, quote, can be a check on this administration. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has eliminated a rule that requires a period of notice before certain HHS decisions are made. Friday, the agency reversed an obscure requirement called the Richardson waiver. In place since 1971, it requires a period of notice and an opportunity for public comment on a wide range of decisions. The Richardson waiver also says HHS should only make decisions without public notice sparingly. Kennedy said the waiver's requirements are a burden and cost to the department and public and to the agency's efficiency along with its flexibility. The move is drawing alarm from open government advocates who say it would let HHS make decisions in secrecy. And coming up next on News 3 Now at 6, we take a look back at the life and legacy of Grammy-winning artist Angie Stone. And Blaze Keller returns with a complete look of your First One forecast. Let's get a look at your First One forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze.
And we're going to continue to remain quiet as we go overnight into your Sunday. Mostly to partly sunny to end the weekend, the first weekend of meteorological spring. A high pressure system is going to keep us quiet not only tonight, but into your Sunday. Now, on the back side of that, that's when we start to get a little bit more movement in the jet stream, so to speak. Out ahead of that alert day Tuesday and Wednesday, our system that's going to bring about the alert day conditions may bring us some rain as we go later into your Monday. So that high pressure system moved out of Canada, kept us a little bit on the cooler side today despite the sunshine. And as we go into your Sunday, we'll be a little bit warmer as winds turn out of the southwest. And as I said, mostly sunny to partly sunny conditions to end the weekend. As we look ahead to Monday, starting out clear to mostly clear, and then we see more cloud cover return. There's that chance for some scattered, generally light rain showers as we look to end Monday going into Tuesday. And then throughout Tuesday, we get ready for this next system. This is going to be a large system. It's what we call a very healthy mid-latitude cyclone. The United States is in the mid-latitudes of the globe, and typically these bigger mid-latitude cyclones, they're as big as many states. And this is what we're going to see here as we go into your Tuesday and Wednesday, which is why we have alert days. Heavy rain, strong winds, especially into Wednesday, as well as some snow, all could be possible with this system. We're also in the point of the year where our jet stream is getting its footing ready to be north into Canada for summer. So we still are dealing with some of these warmer air masses followed very quickly by some of these cooler air masses. And we'll kind of go back and forth between days like this where we warm up and then we cool down until we're in the heart of summer. But this system is going to not only rely on that warmer air mass to bring us the rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms Tuesday, but then on the backside of that, cooler air is going to turn over that rain over to some snow. Now, the GFS wants us to cool down faster than the European model, but both are fairly in sync with this system essentially cutting through southeastern Wisconsin. So at one point during the day, part of Wisconsin is going to be dealing with heavy snow and the other part will be dealing with the heavy rain. In terms of winds, it's not going to be as breezy until we go into your Wednesday afternoon. Here's the heart of that low pressure system over Waukesha, at least Waukesha County, as we go into Wednesday afternoon. And this is the cold front. These are the strong northwesterly winds that could be gusting upwards of 45 to 50 miles per hour as we look to end your Wednesday going into early Thursday, which will be tossing around potentially some light to moderate and maybe pockets of heavy, potentially wet snow. Rain, I think, is going to overdo the snow, especially if we stay warmer for longer. Anywhere between 1 inch to 2 inches of rain may be possible from Tuesday through early Thursday. Because the ground may still be a little bit frozen, we could be dealing with some ponding. So if you have any drains in your yard, you may want to make sure that they're clear, get the sub pumps ready, and clear out any drains on the roads as well. In terms of snow, it really depends on which model you think has a better hold of this system. Because the European model on the left keeps us warmer, we're likely not going to see as much snow. But if you believe the GFS, and that will cool us down faster, we'll probably get a couple inches of that wet, heavy snow. I do want to say this, when you have these very dynamic systems and you have the heavy snow or the heavy rain, we're pulling down cooler air from in the atmosphere, or in the upper layers of the atmosphere. So it very well may be possible that we kind of lean towards the GFS where we get that cooling down, not necessarily because cooler temperatures have moved in and winds have shifted, but because we're just essentially pulling that cooler air down from atop of the atmosphere. So we'll be watching that. We'll keep you guys updated. Of course, we'll have the potential snow totals here in the next couple of days if it's looking like we could see a decent amount of snow. But we will be quiet Thursday before maybe some flurries or at least some mixed precipitation return to end next week.
So I only took one class of weather or climate when I was in school. Can you just tell me what GFS means real quick?
That's just the global forecasting system. It's just a cute way of saying that. Yeah, that's one of our long-range models. The European model is based out of Europe, hence the name. And so they go out 2 weeks. Most of our models only go out a couple days to about a week. So we rely on those two, the European and the GFS, to get more of a lay of the land of what long-term could happen.
All right, sounds good. You learn something new every single day. Thank you, Blaze. Some sad news for the music industry. Grammy-nominated rhythm and blues artist Angie Stone has died. Her longtime publicist announced Saturday the singer died in a vehicle crash in Montgomery, Alabama. She had just wrapped up a concert Friday in Mobile and was heading to Atlanta, Georgia in a van when the crash happened. 9 other people were in the vehicle. No other details are known about the other people in the van or the circumstances surrounding the crash. Stone's career spanned decades, and she was best known for hits like No More Rain and I Wish I Didn't Miss You. Stone was just 63 years old. And still ahead, Andrew gets you ready for tomorrow's big Badger game. A preview from our Badger Blueprint pregame show next in sports.
Take a moment and just think about where you are now.
Casey O'Brien entered this weekend just 6 points shy of breaking Wisconsin women's hockey's all-time points record. She had just 1 point yesterday, meaning she needed 5 goals or assists today to break that record. Now, doing that in one game sounds insane, but O'Brien didn't even need the full game. She wanted to get it done in one period. Badgers leading 1-0 just 3 minutes in, and they already wanted more. O'Brien puts it on a platter for Kirsten Sims. The Badgers were scoring in this game at a pace unlike anything I've ever seen. They had 5 goals in the first 6 minutes of the contest, trying to get Casey that record, including this assist. She would rack up all 5 points in the first period, securing her spot alone as the program's all-time points leader. In the meanwhile, the Badgers win 11-0 and are off to the WCHA final face-off next weekend. March is finally here, but while we wait for the big dance, the madness has already begun. Tomorrow, the 11th-ranked Wisconsin men go to 8th-ranked Michigan State in what'll be Bucky's biggest game to date. At the start of the season, no one thought that this game would have these stakes, but the legendary Tom Izzo says don't ever doubt Greg Gard.
I am impressed by I think he should be coach of the year. What he did, him and Chris Collins are 2 guys that I think have done an unbelievable job. They're playing good. They're a good team, and because we got them at home doesn't mean anything. They've beaten us here more than a couple times.
And of course, that big game against Michigan State is tomorrow at 12:30 right here on CBS. But make sure to turn on the channel a little bit before at noon for our Badger Blueprint pregame show. Here's a sneak peek, just a tiny one at tomorrow's show.
You said you just prayed to be the last guy on the bench. And have you been able to stop and take a moment and just think about where you are now and the success that you're having with this team?
You know, it's been surreal. it's a year that, you know, you don't really know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Obviously, there's high expectations, but, you know, to see how this season has unfolded, it's been amazing.
And that's just a tiny piece of what we've got. We've got predictions on the game, a full breakdown. It's going to be a lot of fun. Noon right here on News 3 Now tomorrow before the game.
Definitely going to check it out. You know, throughout the week, seeing you guys put so much time and hard work into it, I think it should be celebrated, and I hope you all tune in at home.
Hopefully, yeah, it should be a fun one.
All right, sounds good. Blaze, a lot warmer than it's been as of late.
Yeah, and quiet tomorrow, so you can sit at home, kick back, relax, and watch that show that we were just plugging again at noon. And there's a look at your 10-day forecast. Enjoy the quiet while it's here. 40s on Monday with rain later in the day, and then alert days Tuesday, Wednesday. Going to start off as rain and warm, and then turn over to a rain-snow mix, and eventually all snow later Wednesday before we quiet down for Thursday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Andrew. We'll see you right back here at 10 o'clock.